Welcome to a journey like no other. We'll delve into the world of real horror, not the kind we see in movies or read in books, but the chilling reality that resides in the shadows of everyday life. Brace yourself because once you hear these stories, there's no escape, they'll haunt you forever. Our first tale unfolds in the depths of an old, abandoned house. A place that once was a home to families, now merely a shell lurking in the shadows. Rumors of paranormal activities and inexplicable incidents surrounded this ominous structure. It was a place encumbered by fear and trauma. Fear can often be triggered by the loss of a loved one, but in our second story, death itself seemed to have taken refuge in an overgrown cemetery. The subtle touch of moonlight cast eerie shadows as Gerald, a caretaker, carried out his nightly duties. But one fateful night, the line between the living and the dead blurred into a terrifying reality. Stepping into the unknown territory of a creepy forest pathway, our next account concerns a group of friends embarking on an adventurous camping trip. The forest, cloaked in darkness, seemed to breathe with a life of its own. As the friends traversed deeper, they found themselves encountering something unimaginable, a pair of eyes that glowed a menacing red within the black canvas of the night. Embodied in the erratic flicker of a flashlight, the fourth tale sees a simple college student, Alice, waking up in the middle of an unknown forest. Fear sent a chill down her spine as she frantically followed the faint whisper of rustling leaves. Unbeknownst to her, she was not alone, for something ominously ominous lurked in the shadows. From the haunting darkness of the woods to the sterile gloom of a hospital, our next narrative unravels the spine-killing tale of a medical student exploring the grim history of an abandoned asylum. Rows of empty rooms stood testimony to the countless stories that find their setting in these corridors. Patient charts, long forgotten, now held tales of macabre experiments and tortured souls. Next up, prepare to be gripped by the hair-raising echoes of rattling chains in an ancient prison. As one of the rehabilitated dungeons, it carried within the cold, hard walls, a history of relentless suffering. Amidst these chilling echoes, a figure not of the living materialized before the eye of a prison guard, offering a spectral narrative of its life and demise. Invoking the spirits of the dead through an Ouija board is an activity believed to be fraught with peril. In our next account, we journey into a scene of teenage recklessness wherein a group of friends dared to summon a spirit. What follows is a tale of terror, of an entity from beyond the grave wreaking havoc amidst the flickering candlelight. The ghastly fingers of horror can sometimes reach out from the most unexpected corners. As in the case of 9-year-old Bridget, whose cherished dollhouse bore witness to surreal and unexplainable phenomena. Frightening disturbances escalated to a crescendo the night a fragment of the broken mirror cast a spectral reflection she could not comprehend. Deathly echoes punctuated the silence as a chilling scream pierced the night. The ghostly wail seemed to travel on the back of the whispering wind, seeping fear into every crevice it found. The source of the scream remained a crimson secret, attracting curiosity. The wail became more menacing, overshadowing all else until it became deafeningly unbearable. Venturing into the unknown is the norm for a paranormal investigator. However, nothing could prepare Elias Zuller for the harrowing experience in a dark basement. His surroundings suddenly morph into a horrifying spectacle, blurring the lines between reality and the nightmare realm. The journey of the daring investigator takes an ominous turn, as he confronts an entity that defies all understanding and logic. Our next narrative shifts its focus back to the sleeping graveyard under the shimmer of a full moon. A thick fog veiled the gravestones, rendering them blurred and ominous. Within the dense mist, faint figures began to materialize. As they drew closer, it sent chills down spines, for these were no ordinary specters, these were the beings of the other world, yearning for a means to connect back with the living. A jolting movement snaps a man back to his senses, and he is plunged into the next narrative. As terror grips his heart, the man clambers behind an overturned table, using it as a shield from the unknown source of his fear. He clutches his chest, his heart threatening to leap right out of his body. He is now entangled in a web of frightening occurrences that seem to defy all reason and scientific explanation. Some fears are so potent that they instill a frostbitten chill that seems to permeate one's entire being. This is what binds Anne, who is afflicted with a teething fear that blazes forth under the moon's icy gaze. The claw marks etched onto her walls seem to whisper an ominous tale, a hint at the spectral presence that dwells terrifyingly close. Tendrils of mist part, revealing a ghostly apparition in tattered, gray robes. Its hollow eyes reflected the wavering glow of flickering candles, manifesting an ethereal, bone-killing sight. Lost in an endless cycle of haunting, it is forever bound to a tragic story that still resonates within the dust-laden halls of a dilapidated mansion. In the heart of an ominous forest lies an ancient portal, its eerie glow creating a ripple in reality. The forest harbored a spectral secret, for the unearthly portal connected two realms, realm of the living and that of the dead. In the pitch darkness, the glowing portal was testament to a sinister presence that could soon spill into our world. Amid the foreboding witching hour, the blood moon silhouetted a spectral hand reaching out from the depths of an abandoned well. It was a testament to a horrifying past yet unknown, whispering a tale of suffering and restless spirits. The spectral hand advances, hinting at an imminent confrontation that could have dire consequences. A silhouetted figure emerges from the shadows, the veil of darkness shrouding the features. Her cryptic eyes pierce the night like an ethereal flame, unchanged by the passage of time. The enigmatic presence was intertwined with stone statues of old, possessing a ripple effect that transcended reality. The figure of a long-deceased queen had come to reclaim what fate and time had stolen from her. Pain etched onto every line of his face, the wounded man staggered towards the looming haunted mansion. The dusty grounds seemed to suck the sound out of his footsteps, engulfing him in a deepening sense of dread. What lay within the confines of the old, dilapidated mansion was a nightmare from another realm waiting to merge with reality. Shattered glass formed a sinister mosaic, shutting in on an unfortunate soul. Within the stark reflection of the fragmented pieces, a dread-filled countenance observed back. The echo of demonic laughter permeated the newly crafted oblivion, a chilling sign of the unseen forces converging towards the mortal world. Seeking protective measures, the cursed soul weaves in the chilling lore of ancient rituals and charms. A battle against the unseen forces ensues. Amongst this, there emerges a spectral apparition, the Grim Reaper. Serving as a gatherer of souls, the relentless figure of death lingers ominously, marking the finality of the living's inevitable fate. Suspense hung heavy in the air as an aged, weathered doll stood against the backdrop of a tormented child. The lifeless eyes of the doll seemed to reverberate with the child's sorrow, resulting in an intersection between the mortal and the paranormal. The story divulged the unsettling intricacies of inhabiting a haunted dwelling. Forsaken by its parishioners, the old church stood as a lonely sentinel amidst a maze of gravestones. With every step, the dust of centuries danced to life, forming ghostly orbs in the moonlight. These spectral manifestations weren't just evidence of a forsaken church but served as an ongoing link to a haunting past that refused to fade into the whispers of time. Tucked away in an isolated corner stood the decrepit structure of a witch's house, its warped timbers leaking tales of the supernatural. Aged beyond the face of the earth, the witch was in possession of an archaic spell book, a treasure trove of incantations that could manipulate reality. This recount is a chilling reminder of the age-old battle between the worlds of magic and humanity. Set against the backdrop of a turbulent sea, the image of a ghost ship emerged from within the storm. Time seemed to stand still as the phantom vessel glided across the murky waves. Deeper into the tale, the haunting echo of footsteps resonated through the bowels of the abandoned ship, bearing testament to the spectral remains of an undead crew abandoned in the throes of nature's fury. A luminous full moon cast long ominous shadows, bringing to life a spectacle that chilled the bones. Amidst the silvery beams, shadowy figures began to materialize. Each enigmatic outline possessed a tale of their own, vying for the chance to narrate a frightful saga that transcends the boundaries of the living world. In an eerie twist of fate, Sarah discovers a long-forgotten attic in her new home, which was inexplicably infested with bats. Amidst the fluttering chaos, a once magnificent portrait lay torn, its macabre remnants telling a story that had been long buried. Sarah's innocent curiosity led her on an ominous journey, delving into the dark secrets of the haunting attic. Staring at a possessed mirror, Linda was dumbfounded as her ghostly reflection took on a sinister aura. The unassuming bedroom saw a tenebrous transformation as Linda was drawn into the chilling truth that her mirror was a portal to the afterlife. Ghostly hands reached out from within the glass, beckoning Linda into the world of the dead. The rustling leaves betrayed the presence of an unseen entity as a panicked Laura fled deeper into the blood-stained forest. The eerie sounds of ethereal whispers filled the hollow dimension, insidiously assaulting Laura's senses. She found herself tangled in a milieu that blurred the boundaries between reality and a horrifying, unexplored realm. The next tale unfurls the frightful sight of a vertical coffin silently pried open. Within this dimly lit setting, shrouded in a chilling mist, a grim figure lurked, a formidable apparition that challenged misconceived notions of the inanimate. The silhouette bore a tragic story, freezing time in a nerve-wracking encounter that will haunt you forever. Narrator 30. The decaying facades of buildings in a phantom town seem to grapple with the concept of memory and the passage of time. Against this unnerving backdrop lay broken dolls, their fragile nature juxtaposed with the eerie aura of the town. Each could tell its own tale of sorrow and terror, their shattered limbs mimicking the spectral folklore abounding the spectral setting. Narrator 31. From within the confinements of a deserted mansion emanated a mysterious whisper, an echo from a forbidden past that transcended the cryptic walls. Incandescent in the prevailing darkness, a mystic figure materialized. It was a ghost, a sightless apparition, yet the lack of eyes did not deter it from piercing the very depths of the soul with its unsettling stare. Narrator 32. Deep in the forest lies a sight incredibly baffling and terrifying, a gaping hole, the likes of which appear to be an interdimensional portal leading to the parallel world. Amid the morbid spectacle of a satanic ritual conducted, a self-serving prophecy appears to unfold. The dauntingly large pentagram blazes with an eerie fire, and soon enough, all hell breaks loose, leaving none unaffected. Narrator 33. Scream-frozen air carried the shiver-inducing promise of an entity close by. The field of vision focuses on the animated footage taken by a surveillance camera. It captured the chilling moments preceding the violent death of a security guard. The flickering screen held the key to something unfathomable, signifying the residence of a spectral presence within or beyond the viewer's reality. Narrator 34. Standing as an emblem of supremacy and dominance, the magnificent silhouette of the castle rendered an imposing aura. Here lies the unseen allure and malevolence of an ancient relic. The artifact housed within these storied walls was a harrowing testament to the dark allure of power beyond the threshold of human understanding. Narrator 35. The ghostly embrace of the waves cloaked in an otherworldly luminescence held a tale of a drowning woman. Her desperate, ethereal visage portrayed an unspoken sorrow as she clung to the phantom ship. The melancholic cry of the sea bore the curse of the ages, a tragedy that metes out a cruel fate to anyone who crosses the spectral path of the ship. Narrator 36. Creaking doors break the yawning silence of a lonesome house. As if suspended in time, a human figure lay trapped in the clutches of sleep paralysis. The imposing darkness witnessed the inexplicable presence of malevolent entities, shadows that moved with a life of their own. They whispered their taunts, creating an atmosphere filled with a sense of unfathomable dread and panic. Narrator 37. From spectral apparitions to ominous portals, witching hours to cursed relics, each story intricately woven with narratives of spirits out for revenge, tragic love, lost souls, ancient curses, and eternal hauntings. Are these supernatural encounters merely figments of our imagination or stark truths of our existence, lurking in the eternal shadows? The question remains unanswered as the terrifying journey continues. Do you dare to step into the beyond? The choice is yours, it always was. Until then, remember, there's no escape from the haunting.